All right. Yeah. All right. We are live.
Okay.
Yeah, and a lot to talk about today. So basically, we know what the Bengals coaches are going to look like now, right, John?
Wait a minute, you're going to talk about the Bengals coaches? We just finished watching a playoff game. I mean,
yeah.
And the Patriots are once again going to the Super Bowl. Once again.
That is true. That is true.
And
But
I'm
okay,
sick
we're
of
going to
it.
talk a little bit about the Patriots. I mean, Rex Burkhead was huge down the stretch.
Yeah, he was huge.
Yeah, I mean, he made some really critical plays. And it's interesting because
don't forget Jeremy Hill and his support from the sidelines.
Jeremy Hill.
That's right. That's right. And he didn't fumble and throw it away like he did for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because he couldn't.
Now, John, as our resident historian, can you tell me, has there in the history of the NFL been a team as this unstoppable as the Patriots, who've won like I don't even know how many Super Bowls and stuff? Is this like a new thing, and why can't someone make this go away?
I think. Well, I've only lived in 3 decades in my life.
Okay.
I know that like 50s and 60s was what the Browns before the NFL was a thing. The 70s was the Steelers. 80s was the 49ers. The 90s were the Cowboys.
Yeah, I remember that. That was bad times.
The 2000s were the Patriots, and the 2010s the Patriots. Like it's just the reality of the NFL because they have the best head coach of all time in any sport, and he's not going away anytime soon.
Why? Why doesn't he go away?
What? Wait. What do you mean?
I mean, what does he want now? He's won like how many times does he want to win? Just retire already. We're sick of it.
If you're still the top of your game and no one comes close to countering you,
But John, okay, this is kind of a good point. Like if you're Belichick, right, or Brady, don't you kind of want to win one without the other guy, like to prove?
Brady can't.
I do not think they're wired that way. I don't think they're wired that way at all.
So remember that report last year about how Kraft and Belichick, and that was just nonsense, huh?
No, it wasn't nonsense. You could see when they won, I saw the tension. I'm a face reader. I don't know if I told you guys.
Yeah.
And I could see that there was real tension and friction.
Wow.
And Brady was upset at Kraft. That was clear.
Wow. So, I mean, so there you go. I mean, you have,
The Patriots don't work like the Bengals. It's not about it's kumbaya, let's go campfiring together. They're an angry team with a lot of hate at each other. But they use it, they bring it onto the field and aim it at the other teams. And so the Rams are in too. That's kind of crazy, man.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about Whitworth a lot, but I mean, come on. That guy has been huge, as big as any offensive lineman can be.
And, right, and honestly,
he's the most valuable left tackle in the league.
Exactly. And you know, I would say he's one of the most valuable players in the league. And let me say something else. Yeah, easy, right? And let me say something else. He and we all miss Marvin, God bless him, I miss him, but I honestly think that one decision, and I don't know whose decision it was, if it was Marvin's or if it was up top, getting rid of Whitworth or letting him go for the cheap price that we did, and Whitworth made it known that it was that really the Bengals were being cheap. I think that was what really put the nail in the coffin for the Cincinnati Bengals. And we would have probably still had Marvin Lewis as a head coach if we had Whitworth as a player. That's what I think.
I mean, I don't know if there's. I know PFF does like wins above replacements. I don't know what Whitworth's is, but I would imagine for just offensive lineman in general, he's probably at the highest because as soon as he came to Los Angeles, and it wasn't just obviously Whitworth, it was the whole McVay effect and everything, and getting to utilize the players that Jeff Fisher continually underutilized. But I mean, Whitworth's impact with Los Angeles cannot be understated. And just the fact that he's like a fine wine, man. He's like Brady, but left tackle. He just gets better with age. And like the Bengals thought that he would like by this point be just useless, like
because they're dumb. Because they don't think outside the box.
Yeah,
they have him for 1 more year, I think.
Yeah, but you know, John, I know the Bengals have been kind of backwards thinking and not really having winning as their bottom line goals, more about, you know, making economical decisions, but that has changed. I mean, look. I just want to, you know, just kind of transition into the coaching decision.
Right, that's the topic. You're gonna,
yeah. So look, I mean, you look at Jack Del Rio, former head coach, pretty successful, right, in Oakland, right? Yeah. I think he was okay in Jacksonville, but pretty good, you know. You have Brian Callahan. John, can we affirm that he is the offensive coordinator?
No.
He's the only like candidate that's his name has been thrown out there. If I'm assuming if he doesn't have any competition, I'm pretty sure he's just the guy at this point.
So no Press Taylor.
Not there hasn't been any word on that. That was the speculation at the start, but there hasn't been any steam with that. No.
Yeah. So I mean, so you have Brian Callahan, people respect, right? And then Bill Callahan come in as the offensive line coach. He's the best in the business and the former head coach.
No, we just saw the best offensive line coach of the Patriots. That 70-year-old dude is like 5'9", like his first name's Dante, White Dante.
Yeah.
He's
like a dried up chili pepper, but man, does he have a bite.
Oh, I did. Yeah. Okay.
Good Lord.
Really, John, you think he's the best?
Callahan is right up there with Munchak and him, like in terms of getting the most out of talent. So getting him after letting go of Pollock would be instrumental for the development of what is there now and just bringing in more guys because he definitely has an eye for talent.
Yeah.
And not only that, but like if he comes along with Brian, obviously the father-son relationship, some people were speculating that instead of like strictly as like a offensive coordinator and
like pass coordinator.
Yeah, it would be pass and run game. Like
which is fun. Which is fun.
And that's exactly what it is in Los Angeles, right? Because McVay is the head coach and play caller. Right. Maybe that's what Taylor would be.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Bieniemy is more of a, I don't know, run game or pass game, run game coordinator than a real, or a specialist than a real coordinator as well. So, I mean, when you have these offensive coaches who like to, run the show,
Yeah.
But it's also this dynamic where you have Taylor coming in as a quarterbacks coach. You have then Brian Callahan is the current quarterbacks coach, and then you keep Alex Van Pelt, who's also a good quarterbacks coach. Then you have three guys with experience as quarterbacks coach. That emulates what the Eagles did in Carson Wentz's first couple years when they really elevated him. When they had Doug Peterson, who was a former quarterbacks coach, they had John DeFilippo, who was the quarterbacks coach, and then they had Frank Reich, who was the offense coordinator, but also a former quarterbacks coach. So just filling the offensive staff with guys who have plenty of experience working with quarterbacks, that either tells me that they're going all in on Andy Dalton for the last 2 years, or they're invested in finding the replacement sooner than later.
I have a feeling it's not Andy Dalton.
No, it's not that.
I have a feeling. Although when I watch Jared Goff, right, I'm not blown away with physical talent.
No, but he doesn't. He is
kind of good at running the show the way Dalton did in 2015.
With one notable difference.
He's a great point guard.
Right, and Andy Dalton was that in 2015.
No. I mean, he still had the pressure situation problem.
I mean, they both sting against pressure, and that's definitely Goff's biggest weakness. And I think Belichick's going to toy with him in that department unless Goff changes into like Eli Manning or Nick Foles all of a sudden.
Well, I mean, look, he has a bigger arm. Goff has a bigger arm. He hits those deep passes a little nicer than Dalton,
Mm-hmm.
But basically, I was watching the AJ Green highlight that the NFL put, and Dalton early in the season, he really threw some beautiful, perfect passes.
He did.
No, when everything goes according to plan, when the system works, Dalton is fine. It's those quarterbacks that can do the most when things don't work out so well, when they have to improvise, create for themselves. That's what separates the Mahomeses from the Jared Goffs in this situation, I guess.
Right.
Well, you're going one extreme. You're going with Mahomes, right? I mean, Dalton is one of the worst at sensing pressure and moving in the pocket and throwing guys open. Those are, in my opinion, those are his biggest flaws.
Yeah, and those are the three biggest things that are needed in quarterbacks.
Right. But I'm saying Mahomes is like way up there. He's
sure, but he's also the only quarterback in the AFC that you could reasonably expect to compete with Brady.
No, right. But what I'm saying is, if Dalton could just learn a little bit, in terms of a starters, be average in that, sensing pressure, throwing guys open, average or a little above average, he'd be very good.
But that's not something that you can just learn at 30
That's my
years
thing.
old.
That's my problem. Is it's his instincts that I don't think will ever change.
Right. People think that you can just develop that 9 years into your career. It's just nonsense. It just doesn't happen.
It is. It really is. You are what you are when you're that age. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, John,
and there's been a lot of, and listen, as someone who I've never formally had a PR position, but I know how PR works because I had a lot of people deal with my PR agents, people who are dealing with my music and my albums and stuff. I can tell you that the way this stuff works is they send little teasers out. I think the Tannehill rumor was a little teaser for us, the fans, to see how we react. And actually, the fans didn't react all that negatively. They're okay with Tannehill, which surprised me more.
I don't think you read the comments section of my article about it.
No, I did not. But I mean, so people are that upset about Tannehill? I don't know. I am. I don't want Tannehill.
People don't like Tannehill, for obvious reasons, but I also don't think that they understand the point of bringing Tannehill in the whole thing that surrounds that.
I mean, I think there was this running theme of the throwaway season that everybody was picking up on. But I mean, look, I don't want to go back to the whole Tannehill thing, but I do think that it's pretty clear the writing's on the wall. They're getting rid of Andy Dalton.
Sooner than later.
John, I have a question for you. Okay. Now, I saw something saying how Kingsbury or Clingsbury or Cliffberry, there is this
Kingsbury.
Yeah, that guy. He's like I think he's like 19 years old, right? And he's going to be the new coach.
Mm-hmm.
And so here's the thing. They say he wants his own quarterback. He might want that Kyler Murray guy, right?
Yeah, that was like a thin rumor, but yeah.
Okay. And they have the number one pick. They say maybe they trade that to the Giants or somebody, get a lot of picks, get Murray like 6th or later in the draft. But my thing is this: could the Bengals get Josh Rosen? Because I like that guy. That guy has the tools.
That would be interesting.
I do too.
I do
too.
I give up a number 11 pick for him.
So how would that trade work? Like who gets who?
I give them. They take the number 11. I take the Josh Rosen back.
All right, so we just forfeit the first-round pick for a quarterback and give it.
Oh yeah, I mean, because there's nobody in this draft like him. He was 21 when he came to the league, John. He's still only 22.
No, I'm a fan of Rosen. I think
he stands tall in the pocket. He throw downfield. He has nice touch on his passes. He has some blocking. He's going to be fantastic.
That's interesting. Like if I were to do that, I would definitely keep Dalton on the roster too for at least like a year, just so he can like come mentor him for that year.
John, we are great in the second round. Let's be honest. We're not so good in the first round.
I agree.
Dalton for second round pick. Get a linebacker, get a tackle, get something. We will be right back in it.
Well, I don't know, man. You're kind of being a little bit too optimistic.
No, look. Let me ask you something, John. If we have a smart offensive line coach and a smart head coach, Westerman starts. Trey Hopkins, maybe you put him at center. Maybe you play, I don't know, you play Billy Price at guard, or you don't play him at all. Maybe you move Bowling to tackle. You have a good line right away, right? Pretty good line.
No.
There's no depth there.
It doesn't look like that.
Like this was their biggest problem last year, is that like their 22 starters you could live with, but then behind that, if injuries stunk in, which they definitely did this year, you saw obvious problems. They don't like their whole roster as a whole. The 53 guys, they're not championship level right now. Like you could argue that most of their starters are at least average to above average, but the ones that aren't, they're dog shit. I mean, they're dog crap. And then the guys behind them, they're just not good right now. And I don't know if new coaching, a new coaching staff kind of elevates that, but it just seems wild to me that a team would go from the 6-10 that they were, one of the worst teams in the league in terms of advanced metrics and all that stuff, to a serious Super Bowl contender, even with a new quarterback. I just don't think it'll happen in a year.
No, it's not.
No, I'm not saying Super Bowl contender. Don't get me wrong.
Right back in what then?
Yeah, no. I'm saying 9-7. We slowly move.
Right back into mediocrity.
No.
9-7 mediocrity.
I'm sick of
not mediocrity. Moving up. It starts with 9-7, 10-6. A year or two.
It doesn't work like that, man. It's not like you have to move incrementally into the Super Bowl, man.
Yes, you do.
No, you can just be good next year and go play and win.
Last year was much better than they were as a team. They were terrible in the playoffs, and I knew they would be. They were a new team. Now they're a little more...
You know what it was? It's that the coaching... Okay, now this is something I wanted to say before. The Rams coaching isn't as great as everybody's saying. It's good, but it's not. This McVay thing, it's a fad, man. Whitworth was a big part of it. That's why I don't fall for it. I don't believe the hype. I'm okay with Zach. I'm happy Zach's coming. But I got to say, comparing the Rams and the Chiefs today, I was more impressed by Bieniemy's offensive linemanship. I mean, offensive.
Well, you're talking Mahomes like as a Ferrari, and Goff, who's like I don't know, like a nice Camry or something.
Maybe, or Tesla. You stuff that I'll go with, man.
What's that, John?
You can do so much more with a guy like Mahomes than you can with Goff.
Right.
Yeah,
and I mean, Mahomes is the offense to some. I mean, no, I shouldn't say he's not like Aaron Rodgers level. I mean, Andy Reid is brilliant. Bieniemy is brilliant. But
yeah, go ahead.
But I mean, there's just some things that it's just him kind of making it have some things, not as much as Rodgers.
And I think that's what I think that was a point that you were alluding to, where like you can add a good right tackle at 11. You can add a good linebacker. It won't mean anything more than just adding an above average quarterback that can lead you to places that you just haven't been. And I think that's important for the Bengals. If they find a guy at quarterback in this draft, or they find a trade deal like a guy like Rosen and they believe in it, like they have to pull that trigger. Like like we all realize that, because an offensive tackle and a linebacker is not going to have the same impact as an upgraded quarterback.
I mean, the thing about Rosen, and I don't want to talk too much about it because I didn't see any Cardinals games, but I mean, it's like
you didn't want to.
Yeah, but I mean, John, like put a lot of good. Put Mahomes there, his first year starting instead of the Chiefs. Even Mahomes. Do you think he would have a lot of turnovers, right?
Probably, yeah. More than he did this.
Probably, maybe even get injured. I mean, it's just it was such a bad situation. Remember, like a year ago this time, it was Rosen and Darnold. 100% they're the top two, right? And then it changed close to the
for most people. For most people,
seem off topic, but
and he's like so young. Yeah, go ahead.
What this Chiefs defense and everybody's saying so great. I mean,
who's saying that?
They said the Chiefs defense is pretty good, didn't they?
I think it was just because they're at home.
Yeah, I just wasn't impressed.
Well, this was their best performance this year that I saw.
Man, they were like
against Brady.
Honestly, they were like someone who has diarrhea. I mean, everything was just going through them real quick.
I mean, they would have won the game, but that was that offsides or in the neutral zone thing. Mm-hmm. But supposedly that guard was like off or whatever, right?
And we can also ignore the 3 penalties that gave the Patriots the whole drive in the first place.
Yeah, I guess.
The roughing the passer call is just.
Oh yeah. That was not roughing the passer. That was not.
No.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, okay, on the one hand, yeah, I really didn't want to see the Patriots in the Super Bowl again.
No,
I mean, I respect the fact that they're so good at what they do, but I don't know. The Chiefs are the only team that I mean, okay, Whitworth getting Super Bowl.
I want the Rams to win, man. Now we got a couple of people on the Rams that were.
No, I mean, there's no reason to root for the Patriots at all.
Burkett.
He already won one, didn't he, with them?
Well, he didn't do anything.
I guess.
Or
maybe he didn't. I guess he lost to the Eagles.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe he was injured the year before. I don't know. But
Whitworth deserves one more. It's not close.
Yeah.
It's been. I mean, honestly.
So I want to go to the questions real quick, and we have a question asking if the Bengals should move AJ Green, and add some assets because AJ Green going to be.
Why not move Dalton? Why have to move AJ?
No, we're going to move Dalton for sure.
Like if you're going to move AJ Green, you better be at least getting a first-round pick.
And you won't. Just keep AJ, man. AJ's going to elevate.
I would love to keep AJ for the next quarterback.
Wait.
Exactly.
You want to get first-round pick for AJ Green?
I don't know.
Stop.
Of course we will.
How do you know? He's going to be like 30.
What? AJ Green?
We don't know that. We don't know that.
No, Dadio.
I know that.
He's got the toe problem. And once you got the toe problem, everybody knows you got the toe. Everybody talks about the toe. Everybody knows you got the toe.
I don't know if it's a certain that a wide receiver entering his 3rd contract, going into his 30s, would warrant a first-round pick on the open market.
No, he won't. He won't get a first-round pick. For a wide receiver, no, Dadio. You're overdoing it. And let me just say one thing. He's our star. We love to watch him play. He's going to elevate the new offense, whoever's there. And let me can you guys give me just a little minute to rant here? Cincinnati needs something to be proud of. I mean, honestly, did you guys see this Cuff Cat Kid thing? I mean, this was embarrassing. Dadio knows that I have this stepson, Raphael, and this was about 20 years ago. I tried to put him we lived in the Northern Kentucky area outside of Covington. And I tried putting him in that school. He had a horrible time. He was bullied all the time. And so I put him in this all-girls school that was just letting a few boys in. And he was happy there. He was very happy, And, man. So I did this little, I put together, I'm working on a tune right now about the whole Cov Cat situation, because I think that, honestly, I really feel like Cincinnati's reputation's on the line here. We're like known for this, and it just makes me so upset.
Can we just leave that in Kentucky?
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
Hold on.
John. Yeah.
Hello, Cat Kid. You made our city famous for what you did and not for the good things that we do. Like the Cobra Kai skeletons, you bullied an old man, just playing his drums, a veteran of native heritage. And it seems to me you live your life like a hateful little child, wearing that MAGA hat and that crappy smile. I would have liked to spank you, but that's against the law. So I'll have to teach you manners by singing like Elton John. That's all I got for now. But I'm working on it. I'm got to get the second verse and then kind of just, guys, cut it out. Stop it. That's enough.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's very embarrassing, man.
That was a decent sample.
Thank you. So we got to at least have a good receiver to make up for it.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't trade him for. I mean, to be honest with you, it's just I'm watching Whitworth, I'm watching Burkhead, and I feel so good for them, to be honest with you. And I'm thinking,
100%.
Yeah, I'm thinking AJ Green more than any. Maybe okay, AJ Green. You got Geno Atkins, Dunlap. I want to see these guys do something. You know, it's like
That's fair. That's
you watch
fair.
guys like Michael Bennett. Is Michael Bennett that much better than Dunlap? I don't know. But I mean, he gets to do his stuff on the biggest stage, and everybody knows about him, appreciates him. Someone like Dunlap has been doing it for years, you know, batting down passes, making clutch plays, and people don't know about him.
Bengals defense has problems, man, and it's not going to be fixed quickly. I mean, you got
It
no
can
linebacker.
be. It can be, man. Look, we need some linebackers, a lot of them. We need good linebackers, and
where are you going
everything
to get them?
changes.
I mean, you know, each one. I know, but you're going to put together a whole new team, and it's going to be offense oriented. So there's going to be a lot more done for the offense than there's the defense right now. They're going to try to put together a real hotshot offense.
The top four offenses in the NFL just played today.
There you go.
It's just what matters. Like,
yeah, but John, but in
the Chiefs defense really lost the game.
Well, but they played pretty okay considering it's Tom Brady in the playoffs. I mean, they intercepted him twice. They almost had that third one.
Yeah, each time they intercepted him, he really deserved it.
Yeah, but I mean, look, my thing is the Chiefs were a bad defense this year, very bad. But they came through. Like, whereas the Bengals, of course, that was Marvin Lewis coach teams. Maybe it's different now. But you just know in the prime time, even if they have a good defense, they're gonna get exposed. You know, we were always unprepared.
Well, I mean, look, here's the thing: the philosophy used to be that a good defense wins games, and then the offense just has to basically do the bare minimum. It's been flipped. Right now, when you have a bad offense like what we had, we had a lot of offensive problems. It put so much pressure on the defense; they started playing horribly.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird dynamic with me now that I'm thinking about it, because Jack Del Rio was like a close friend of Marvin Lewis.
Yeah.
And, like, there were always talks about him coming on to join the staff. I think after he got fired from Jacksonville, like he's obviously not a Lewis guy because he's never coached with him, but it's just kind of weird how, you know, we had this narrative of going away from guys who associate with Lewis, but now he's like the favorite to become the defensive coordinator. I don't think it would be a bad to hire. It's just something.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not like anything Lewis touches. I mean, you wouldn't want Zimmer as a DC. Come on. No,
right. Because he coached good units in Denver before Wade over that, so he's got a good pedigree.
Well, I mean, it's more about we don't want Vance Joseph, we don't want Hugh Jackson,
we just want change.
We don't want guys that are boring and don't understand, you know, modern NFL offense, that kind of stuff.
No, but the reality of it is, and this is why everybody's so excited. They're watching the whole change up. Everybody's being changed, so it's at least new, even if not good. That's why. Yeah, I mean, because look, I mean, I would say the Frank Pollock thing, I didn't understand. I really didn't understand getting it. But I guess it's, you know, out with the old, in with the new. Though some people say he was the one who wanted to leave.
I don't know what to believe of that, because I would believe of Taylor wanting Callahan to come in, because Callahan was his coach at Nebraska, but the things about Pollock saying he wanted to leave, I don't know if I believe that.
Maybe he just wants to be rehired. He was Mizunule. But Mixon was so unhappy about that, and I was surprised he was vocal. I mean, you have a new. Well, you have
he's younger than me, man. Like he's like I don't blame those young guys for too much change because they weren't a part of the constant mediocrity for the past decade plus. So this is kind of all they know. And if they connect well with these coaches, you know, I understand. I empathize with that, even if they don't fully grasp the need for it.
Yeah, he's young. Yeah, well, it's been good, guys.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, so the concern with, Zach Taylor was he's so young. Can he win the respect of the veterans? And the fact that you have not only older coaches but former head coaches wanting to work under him, to me, is fantastic. It's about as good as it gets. That means everybody's buying into him. They're going to
maybe it's a tight market,
No. They have options, these guys. Come on.
You think?
Especially Bill Callahan. Come on. He's got tons of options.
But
right?
but Dadio, listen, there are teams that are hiring. The Jets are hiring. But a lot of these systems that are in place, they're not hiring coordinators. That's the thing. Right. So it's not like, it's not, it's a kind of the coaching job market. It's not that open. There's a lot of competition.
That's not what it's about, man. Look, these guys, they can be analysts. They have other things. They're not going to take a job under a kid if he's going to be fired in 2 years. That's going to end their career. They believe in him. Okay?
Yeah, I hope.
This is big.
I hope you're right.
I'm telling you this. No, I'm telling you guys.
But he's just a QB coach. I mean, honestly, what does that mean?
Yeah. And like, do you believe that Taylor will get fired after 2 years if he wins like 5 games?
No. I think even if he wins no games next year, it means nothing. No one cares.
No, not at all.
Yeah. It's really year 2. And if year 2, I think he goes 500, he's okay.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. But he's going to be much better. I'm telling you, next year will be 9-7, 10-6. The year after, 11-5, 12-4. Maybe get to the divisional round, maybe the conference championship. The year after that is the championship, is the Super Bowl. That's the way I see it going.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
Yeah, I know.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I'm very positive about these hires and Zach Taylor, the respect he gets. And there was a report that the Bengals were looking at him like months ago. So he was their guy, but they weren't showing their hand. And they were letting this Hugh Jackson nonsense, float out there to kind of distract people while they got their guy.
I think I do believe that because I think Taylor was the first guy that they were reportedly interested in after Marvin was fired. He was like the first like name to pop up. Or like, okay, maybe they're actually considering outside hires.
Right.
So
yeah. So Shane Waldron take his job, I guess, as the main guy in the Rams.
Yeah, I guess.
It may be nice to get him as the offensive coordinator, but I don't think he'll leave for that.
I mean, I don't think they're going to miss a QB coach that much. Let's just put it out on.
He's not just a QB coach, Hodgie. When you don't have also as a coordinator, he does other things. He calls plays sometimes. He makes the game plan. He's like an offense coordinator light because
I know Bengals fans were ecstatic to always see him in the shot with McVay and Goff on the sidelines. He was always like a part of that conversation. That's and cool. I know for a fact that Bengals fans are like, oh yeah, he's in the inner circle, and in reality, he probably doesn't have much to say about it. No. But he definitely sees everything that goes on. He definitely has a good grasp on the situation of being a play caller, and I think that's worth the risk.
I actually was a QB coach for a year for a high school team. I mostly just got the QB water and tied his shoes when his hands were in his gloves and stuff. It wasn't that big of a deal.
Who was the QB?
My QB at the high school? His name was Ralph Simmons. How do you follow that closely? This was in.
He does actually. John, what was the metrics?
He never made it. Listen, Ralph Simmons never made it big, but that's because he was too big. Honestly, I kept telling him to lose weight. He weighed about 190, and he was about 5'1", and it was mostly fat. But I would tell him, I was the QB coach, so I would tell him, work out, Ralph, work, and he would work out a little bit, but. Lazy kid. So I would just get him water and hopefully, he'd pee out some of the fat. But didn't work.
Did you say Raph or Ralph?
Oh, are there two of them? Ralph.
Oh, I thought you said Raph Simmons.
No.
Famous fashion designer.
No, did he become a fashion designer? I didn't keep up with him. I had a very failed attempt at being a QB coach in Malibu High. And It was because I donated a lot of money to the school, and they let me do that.
Not bad.
Yeah. No, it's not bad. It's a good job. They didn't pay me, but you know. So, I think this has been good. I think we've gotten a lot on the table here, and let's see what happens with the whole Rams versus Patriots thing. So maybe it can be the end.
Yeah, I mean, on the one hand, Bengals fans want their coach now, right? We want to see what he does. We want to see the staff put together right away.
It's so long.
But
You got the whole spring and the whole
important
summer.
experience. Yeah, this is important experience.
Yeah, just follow something else for a while. Forget about the Bengals.
No, they're scared they're not going to come here. They're scared that they haven't unofficially been hired, which they have.
No, they have. I'm not worried.
Zach Taylor's great, but he's unproven, and it's not that huge of a.
I gotta tell you, I mean,
it's not like we landed Jim Harbaugh.
My trust in the Brown family, the Blackburn Brown family.
Yeah, they're called the Blackburns now.
The Blackburns, the Black Browns. Yeah, I mean, it went from down here to like up here, like in no time. Like I have so much more trust in their dedication.
I guess.
It's changed in like 2 weeks or whatever.
But hold on. Marvin Lewis was a good hire, man. Don't forget that.
Yeah. But the fact that they gave him opportunity after opportunity after
that
opportunity.
That was dumb, but he was a good hire.
I mean, they were right. They were like, we can't replicate that 2015 again. Let us just hold on. Maybe he can do it one more time, And I think also the respect they had
for one more season.
I think the respect they had for him, they wanted him to go out with a bang. Like they wanted to give him a chance.
Maybe.
Right. So we maintain that their process at the start is still good, but their process at adapting when things don't go to their plan is still yet to be seen.
Exactly.
Well, John,
and they hired.
I think it's more like at some point the Blackburns. It just became clear that they're just going to do this from now on, and I don't think it was necessarily.
And that's possible. I want to see it before I proclaim that.
Yeah.
Anyways, you want to what before you proclaim that?
I want to see like them actually taking those steps beyond just hiring another good hire at the start.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Well, I want to thank our patrons.
Thank you.
John Harden and Michael Ford. I hope I got that right.
Finally got it right.
Big time help. You have the lights now. We have
do you see how bright it is here? Whoa, into the light.
Yeah.
See? Into the light. I got a light here. You can't see it.
We all have lights. All of us have them, OG.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all have them. And really
thank you.
Yeah.
And with Michael Ford's money, I put together a band and I'm doing my Covcath song. So thank you, Michael Ford, for that.
It's only $1 a month and we haven't received it yet, I don't think. But yeah.
But that's all I need. $1 a month. I put this band together. I sing you more songs.
Yeah. So thank you, patrons. And if other people want to patronize us, thank you. A special shout out to Andrew Sealer, who loves us very much. He's always giving us a lot of love in the chat. And all of you in the chat.
Money don't buy me love, So thank you for the love.
Exactly. Right. Well, the patrons buy us love. It's both. You can buy it and you can also get free love.
No, you fascist. No, money don't buy me love, period. But I like money.
Okay. So I should just give the Michael Ford money to John then. Is that what you're saying?
Well, if you give me all the love, but John gets all the love on Twitter. He's got like 900 million followers. I just got 401.
Yeah. Please follow Hodgie, guys.
Why don't you guys follow me? I say
follow Hodgie on Twitter. Yeah, really, you should follow.
And I retweet John and Dadio. What else do you want? You didn't even need to follow them.
Hodgie does have some controversial opinions, but I mean, he does. Look, you have to understand Hodgie's background. Where he came from and where he got to.
Don't other me, man. Don't other me.
Yeah. So we can talk about that more. But I mean, if you look at the life that Hodgie built for himself in this beautiful country, it is really astonishing. So he just wants to make it better. He wants to make it greater, like all of us, really. Okay.
I got
definitely
it.
better.
Yeah.
Not greater. Not great. Not great.
Well, yeah, it's already great. Yeah. All right. That is all we have for this episode. We will see you next time. Sweetie. Bye.
Bye-bye.
1 second here.
Bye bye. You're still live, man.